to Evening Star Tarot. My name is Mandy, and today we're going to be doing something that's a little different today. We're going to be doing a collective reading on the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine today. And we're going to talk about what's going on in the collective and get a bigger picture in terms of what the Divine Masculine needs to learn at this time and what does the Divine Feminine need to learn at this time. So we have over here, this is what I'm on the top is going to talk about energetically what needs to be understood or to help give the overarching energy vibes for each of the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, and also pinpoint on what lessons or what needs to be learned at this time. And then we have over here the significating card that most signifies the overarching energy of the Divine Feminine or the Divine Masculine in terms of the topic I'm going to be talking about. And then we have the issues that are clarified. So we have clarification cards beneath them. So these are the two issues for each of those sides. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so let's get right into it. So for the Divine Masculine, we're going to go in with the energetic readings here that we have here. So this says, the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. All right, so let's really feel this energy here. So in terms of the energy in the Divine Masculine, I'm getting the sense of, the words that I'm hearing is, of course, transformation, tapping into your solitude time for the answers that you seek. I feel like that's what this card is talking about right now. Transformation and tapping into spirit, reconnecting with source, with yourself. Meditation's another word I'm hearing. I feel like it also coincides with this crown chakra card here. And we'll touch on this universal love before we do that, because this crown chakra here is talking about the frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. Yeah, Spirit's requiring you to remember yourself. Like Divine Masculine during this time is coming back to remembering themselves at a soul level. I think there's a spiritual awakening that's happening with the Divine Masculine collective at this present time. Spirit's trying to tap you in. It's like Spirit's trying to tap you to reconnect with your spirit, with source, with meditation, with that quiet time. I really do feel like this like hustle and bustle that the Divine Masculine is always doing. Now, I just want to reiterate, when I talk about the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, it is non-genderized. You can either, it's LGBTQ. It is definitely not genderized. It's universal. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So if you resonate more with the masculine energy, if you resonate more with the feminine energy, then that's where it's going to flow. Okay. But of course, the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine collectives, they cannot be without one another. I really just want to reiterate that. Because I really do feel like it's important to state that as a collective, as a human race in general, we have a mission and we're a mission in terms of recognizing the importance of one side and the other. The divine masculine and the divine feminine cannot be without the other. And it's very important and imperative that both sides recognize that and recognize the beauty in what can be learned from both sides. And I really just wanted to reiterate that. So at this present time, the divine masculine is now trying to tap into their divine feminine qualities. And that's very much so trying to come to the surface at this present time. That's what the divine masculine is trying to learn at this present time. And it's actually also evidenced here with this universal love card, which states the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. So yes, this is saying about tapping into that heart space. The divine masculine must open up their heart space. They need to find the beauty within opening up themselves emotionally. That is how you connect with others, with life itself. There's something about the beauty in life is more than just financial or practical means. The beauty in life is about being able to really feel life and understand what that means from a heart space level. And that is something that really needs to be understood at this time with the divine masculine collective, is this opening up of the heart space, is being able to tap into it and finding ways to or resources to help you tap into that heart space. That's either through healing, through speaking with others in terms of how to move past basically things that were unfair to you in your past that you have found difficult to overcome or perhaps refuse to acknowledge and dismiss. There's something beautiful about facing those moments and being able to acknowledge that they in fact affected you to some degree. And I feel like that the divine masculine needs to understand that. And that's the most important thing that the divine masculine needs to tap into at this time. It's very, very important. This card called Soul Time. It says the frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. I feel like this also coincides with the remembrance of who you are as a soul being, tapping into your intuitive qualities. That's actually a divine feminine quality. So you're now being asked to tap into your recognition of your everlasting soul, your everlasting life. That is something that's being required to recognize and learn at this time as well. And that all coincides together with this remembrance card here. And it's also evidenced in here that when I had received transformation, this is the significating card for the masculine collective, is death. It talks about transformation. So yeah, the divine masculine collective is being required to change. And it's being required to, and this is regarding what you traditionally think is the norm for you is now being put up to be questioned. What you think is traditional, whatever you think that you thought you knew about life in general or the constructs of society as they are. So now the divine masculine, as logical as it is and as going for the financial or the mundane things as the divine masculine collective is always used to doing, it's now being required to be looked at from a different vantage point. Like now you need to like, now that you're going gung-ho about all of these, external stuff, what is most valuable and important to you? What is society really trying to have me chase after? So the divine masculine is definitely coming back to a place of questioning and solitude, and coming back to self and the soul itself, because that's really what we all ultimately do, right? We always come back to soul. We always have that question of what is the meaning behind, or what is really the truth behind life itself and what I'm chasing after. Where is the values in what I'm chasing? The issues again here is talking about, so there are issues with like control, stability, saving money, scarcity. The issue regarding this in terms of like, I feel like it's more so about like withholding, like what you're, it's like you're it's like the divine masculine is like trying to figure out what is that, like I just said, what is it that they're trying to get recognition for? Like what are they chasing? What is, they're trying to figure out what it is that is like keeping them, what is making them, like what is really so important? Like I'm really, I feel like I just said that, I'm like getting my words out, but like what is really so important for them? Like what is it, like it's like they have, the divine masculine is now like trying to keep their cards close to their chest, and it's like, you know I need to know what I'm fighting for in this life. Like what is the purpose behind what I'm doing here? And there's this like, so this energy of like, like pause is coming up for in terms of like what the divine masculine is coming forward to do. Like they're always trying to seek something, do something, things like that. And it's like now there's like a slowing down of that energy that I feel in the divine masculine context. And there's also the issue of the tower moment. And the tower moment's clarified by this card, which talks about release. So it's like the divine, it's basically an issue that needs to occur, is that there definitely is like a tower moment that's about to be on the rise, or already is happening for the divine, masculine collective. And it's about releasing something. It's about the need or the recognition that there's something that needs to be released or changed. Perhaps there's just, there has to be a change in what's going on, what is currently happening with their day to day. Like they can't just continue to be on autopilot and think that achieving something or going after the most next best shiny thing is going to be the end all be all. Like what does that do when you're burned out, when you are, you know, over there seeing that your life has just blown up because you wanted to chase the next best thing? Like what is that, like is that like really how you want to live your life? Like what is truly valuable for the divine masculine? Because you can keep running a mile a minute, you can keep doing that, but if you don't take the time to really sit back and think about where your life is ultimately going to be headed and how you want to reap the fruit in the most valuable way that you know you're going to be proud of at the end of your life, I just think it's like right now is just a time for the divine masculine to dip into being a little bit more like the divine feminine with their intuition, meditation, self-reflection, thinking about the things that matter, that are most important to them, and then finding ways to really fuel themselves, and what do they want to commit to. That's something that's really occurring. There's a transformation in what the divine masculine wants to commit to and what they truly desire. So, yes, I believe that's all the messages I have at the present moment for the divine masculine. All right, and then now we're going to go into the divine feminine. So we'll start with this card here. So the solar plexus chakra. Now, this is feeling real deep. Okay, so the solar plexus, that's the part that talks about the sense of self, the personal power, the willpower, the knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. Yes, the divine feminine. It is time to recognize your worth. I really had to say that for the divine feminine. The softness, the love, you deserve all of that. I really feel like that is something I have to say to the divine feminine. It's one thing, like when it comes to the divine masculine is very sure in what they want. They know what they want and they know what they deserve. They have that solidity, right? But the divine feminine, because of perhaps maybe the wrong people, the wrong situations, childhood traumas, whatever you call it, but the divine feminine is truly wounded, I feel, in terms of their sense of self. And now it's time to come back to the sense of self. And I feel like like I said, the divine masculine cannot disregard the importance of the divine feminine. And maybe that's what has been happening a lot with the divine feminine collective. There's that wounding. And there needs to be that understanding and that love. Perhaps the divine feminine keeps seeking it in the divine masculine. And it's caused a sense of loss of self. Or maybe this was something that, the divine feminine in some aspects was just born with. I don't necessarily feel like that's what it is. I feel like it's more of like through what's been occurring in the day-to-day of life. The divine feminine has had a dip in their sense of self and self-worth. And then we have here the discernment card. This talks about discerning the ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. I feel like the divine feminine just cares a lot about, the world in general and wants to give back to the world. But there's a lot of taking and not seeing a value. Like I said, it coincides with this solar plexus here that needs to be reignited. And there's just the need for the divine feminine to begin to discern and look at things from more of a detached viewpoint and begin to believe that what's happening or how others treat you has no bearings on your self-worth and your value. You are you are a beauty all within itself. And being able to have compassion for the viewpoints of others and being able to understand that they themselves are on their journey. And if they wish to not view you in a particular way or not love you in a particular way, then that has no bearing on your worth. That has no bearing on what you can contribute. You know what you can contribute. You know the things that you can work on to be the best for whomever it is, for yourself even. And it's being able to discern from those particular situations that you are deserving of that and to have the wisdom to move past those feelings. Then we have here conception. Conception talks about the frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. So this is beautiful because just like how the divine masculine has to dip into become in some of the divine feminine qualities, now the divine feminine needs to dip into the divine masculine qualities. There needs to be a balancing out here. Now it's time for you to recognize your potential to build, that you have that power to create the reality that you want. You have the power to attract the love that you desire, and that is rightfully yours. And you have the power to create just like any divine masculine can. You have that power and you have that initiation. And this is that recognition here that the divine feminine needs to tap into and needs to start to harness. Just like the solar plexus is I am, I will. Like that type of energy is kind of like that, because you see the yellow too. And it's also a little bit of the sacral chakra as well. That's the orangey color, which talks about self-esteem. So this is really about those two integral parts. And there's also the green here as well, which talks about the heart. And as well, like in terms of like what fuels your heart, how the healing. Ooh, this is an important message I just heard. Healing can come through the form of manifestation. You can heal yourself through the manifestation process. You can heal yourself through the manifestation process. I don't know why that was so important to say, but when you're manifesting what you truly desire, you have already healed yourself, because now you're attracting what you desire. You are now paying attention to what you want and what do you deserve. You're healed. I just have to say that very, very clearly. You are healed. Alchemy. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed to the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. Beautiful alchemy. This is something I just said. You're already healed. Your manifestation equals transmutation of pain. Like you can transmute your pain through the manifestation process, meaning you can. And how do you transmit pain? You transmute pain through your active attention to what you need to heal and pivoting yourself towards that goal of where your healed self is. That's transmutation. So the divine feminine is on this journey of transmutation of pain, on this journey of recognizing their power of manifestation, discerning situations to the point where they no longer let situations or others have power over them, and reclaiming their power through recognition of their self, their sense of self, their importance. That is very, very beautiful. Very beautiful, divine feminine. Oh my gosh. And then we have the significating card that talks about the divine feminine. Now this page of cups here it can talk about spiritual insight, intuition, creative opportunities. So the page of cups here is like, yeah, the divine feminine is ready to begin to listen to those intuitive hits and begin to create a new love a love for themselves, and they're trying to find ways to how to, create that and give that to themselves. It's beautiful. And it could be through artistic means, creative outlets, through anything that will show that there's a sense of love there. And then this here, it's clarified by the Two of Pentacles, balance. So yeah, it's now like, again, it's the mean of balancing the giving to others and the with giving to yourself. What, like, you have all these responsibilities and you want to give to others, but how are you going to give it to yourself now? It's that balancing act of giving to others in love and now giving to yourself and listening to that those intuitive hits. The issues is the Three of Pentacles and the two clarified by the Two of Swords here. So the issues here is that I feel like it's more of like what the divine feminine now needs to do is needs to now branch out and collaborate and I think it's also collaborate in terms of like if you're at a crossroads and you don't know what to do in terms of where to go next or how to create that business idea or how to um how to expand, like where do you go from here, and now that you are focusing on yourself, what's next, it's really about now you need to find a way to communicate with others, basically collaborate with others, go and seek new resources to help you with this indecision or this crossroads that you're at, or where you're going to be pivoting so that you can, you know, take that next step of manifestation. And like this is also correlates with here with the clarity. The issue of clarity is that you don't have clarity about, basically how to, of where to go and what to do because you're blocked. And also in terms of a relationship, there's also like there's the issue of no clarity regarding love or values and stuff like that. I feel like spirit is saying like clarity will come when you choose yourself. Clarity will come when you choose yourself. And to find more people to network and to talk to, branch out, so that you can continue to create this force field, this, energy field of just pure, pure energy. I don't know how to, I'm like visualizing like, the more you like, it's just like the more you reach out to people, the more productive energy. Like I just see like yellow, orange colors of just energy, right? That is coming from these people that is going to help facilitate an even bigger reality. It's just gonna it's gonna propel the situation. I'm like trying to put in what I'm visualizing and what spirit's trying to show me into like words, but it's really like all colors that I'm like seeing right now, and I'm trying to like clearly like show it. But the more that you put yourself in a mental space where you're reaching out to others, you're creating a domino effect, so to say, in which more of that energy is just going to grow. It's just going to expand like a fire. Like it's like the inspiration is just going to come. The understanding is just going to come. The desire to cater to yourself is just going to ignite so much passion. That's what I see, right? And then, of course, I have at the bottom of the deck, let's see, that describes the total divine masculine and divine feminine energies, since now I feel like I said all I needed to say for the divine feminine. It says the frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others, which is beautiful. Oh, and then I even had integration, which is also, I feel, important. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Yeah, that's very, very, like, I think that's perfect for this as well. A balancing effect, right? Like, there's a balancing effect that needs to happen. The divine masculine, the divine feminine needs to both learn from each other and be open and receptive to each other, especially in terms of romantic love. That when you are in a romantic relationship, a romantic relationship is the, I think of romance as, or partnership or whatever that is, as the equalizing of both the masculine and the feminine. It's the equalizing of both parts. It's the harmonizing of them. So it's like there's no need to be this overly driven person. And there's no need to be this overly giving person to the detriment of yourself, and especially to the detriment of themselves. Like, they can continue and have everything that they want, but there will never be a sense of fulfillment. There will be a void. And then the divine feminine cannot keep giving and giving and giving without giving to themselves, right? You see that balance? So divine masculine and divine feminine at this time needs to recognize that now they need to, that the divine masculine needs to find the beauty and the values in life itself. And the divine feminine needs to find the beauty within themselves. And also the divine masculine needs to understand that there's beauty in others as well. There's beauty in them and importance in others as well, for we're all connected. And the divine feminine needs to understand that although you understand to the deepest of your core that everyone is important, but you are important as well. And that's something that needs to be understood. At the bottom of the deck here had the 10 of Cups, the overarching energy for all of the divine masculine, divine feminine. This card here is talking about completion and harmony, divine love. And I feel like it's very important. I think it's not 10 is, this card is completion, it's balance, it's harmony, it's love. I think that this is the most telling card of emotional fulfillment that needs to happen. Emotional fulfillment in the divine feminine, emotional fulfillment in the divine masculine. Love is the underlying theme here. Love is the underlying theme for both energies, for both the divine masculine and both the divine feminine. Coming back to love and what is valuable is what's important. What is important is you, divine feminine. And what is important, divine masculine? It is love. Love that you share with others. Love that you that's in your craft or in the love of life, the understanding of life. That's where love will derive. The divine feminine already gets it. Now it's time for the divine masculine to get it. All right, so I hope this made sense, and I hope this, resonated with you. And this was a very powerful and very, balancing beam or balancing act in this reading. And I really enjoyed doing this. So I hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Namaste.